All right, so in here we are in our down to earth area, and we actually have a lot of native reptiles here. This is what we emphasize, sort of 3 different habitats we have up here. You have your mixed forest, your wetlands, and your sand hills. And then down below we have examples of different reptiles you may see in those habitats. We have a few of our venomous snakes of Georgia in here. You have, for example, our water moccasin down there, and our pygmy rattlesnake over here in the corner. And then on the other side of our big timber rattlesnake. And then everything up here, some of them are different taxidermies, animals that have been donated to the center, and just like the reptiles below up here, different animals that represent those 3 main sort of generic habitats here in Georgia. And then our one of my favorites would be our common snapping turtle down below over there, once he gets out of the way. So you can see him under, he's a extremely aquatic turtle. You won't really see him out in the land much, but after it rains, they might travel between ponds and ponds. That's when you're most likely to see them. But a lot of people haven't really seen a snapping turtle, so they think all turtles are snapping turtles, but that's our common snapping turtle. This is one of our second newest exhibit. We had this done before the waterfowl pond, but this is our invasive species exhibit, and we emphasize invasive species here in Georgia. This one's actually a main one in Florida, and if you come around, you'll probably get to see her. But this is our Burmese python. We wanted a place where we could have her on permanent display and be seen in the public, but she's roughly 14 feet, weighs over 100 pounds. She's in the corner right there. She's actually getting ready to shed here in the next few days. And that's how you can sort of see her color's a little grayer, a little duller than it normally would be, but that's because she's actually getting ready to shed. So she is our main attraction here in this exhibit. And our other ones around here, like I said, we just sort of emphasize native or invasive species that have a negative impact on our native species here in Georgia. The lionfish is extremely invasive off the coast down from Florida, pretty much up most of the eastern coast of the Atlantic Ocean. And they could actually, one lionfish could wipe out that entire fish tank right there in say a week, maybe 2 weeks. So that's our reason for having a saltwater fish tank here in this exhibit. And then we do have a few interactive games for the kids, to where, really for adults and kids, but they can press whether they think an animal is native or invasive to the area. So you'll see something like that with the red drum. Hopefully I get this one right. All right, and so that would be our native, a native fish that you can find out in the ocean and actually fish for. And it'll just go through a lot of different species. Kids tend to really like this area. That's an easy one. Raccoon. There we go. Then our other interactive digital displays, basically you can pick where you live in Georgia, and it will tell you some of the invasive species in that area. So right here we're in our coastal plains, so you can see where flathead catfish are actually more in this area in the larger rivers. They've sort of been introduced in some of our large rivers, and you have some apple snails, crabs, things like that. So they can flip through to sort of see what a few invasive species would be in the area that you live. We get a lot of people from all over Georgia, so this way they can actually relate to their hometown or where they're from. Our big display outside is our Raptor walkway. Obviously we're the Center for Wildlife Education plus the Lamar Q Ball Jr. Raptor Center. So we have a lot of native raptors that are on display. And the number one raptor everybody likes to see is our bald eagle up here in our makeshift eagle's nest. You see she's calling right there. She's basically the matriarch of the center. She is 35 years old. She was the first bird at the center. And she's pretty much the reasoning behind all everything you see here today. Everything started with her. When she first came to the center, she was actually came to Georgia Southern. They actually tried to find a live mascot a live eagle mascot for football games for to represent Georgia Southern. They were able to locate her. She does have an injured wing, so she can't fly. When she got brought to the center, or brought to the Georgia Southern, she was staying at the biology building, and that in time, Steve Hahn, our director, were able to locate funds, get donations, and help build the center. So basically everything we see today did start with Glory, our bald eagle right up here in the